What it is, what it doing, how the hell are all of you with yours truly, Petra? I fucking back with another mother lover. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock in with your boy, because we back with another one. Man, got a new variant, Omicron. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna touch on a few different things. I got some articles I'm gonna run through. We're gonna break down. Just scattered a whole bunch of shit. We'll break it all down to smaller episodes, upload them too. Be one long one, break them down to smaller ones, or we'll do 3 like 30-minute, whatever it is, small ones, whatever. We crack it on out. Now, some of the shit that we see every day, good example is let's good example is Peter Doocy asked Jen Psaki about when Biden said that all it was like 200 some odd deaths at that time were from COVID or something like that. Biden was talking about Trump should be held accountable for those and should not be president. Well, Peter Doocy asked, because more people have died under Biden than Trump, should Biden be held to the same standard that Biden said? Jen Psaki gave a run answer, still tried to blame Trump, this, that, the other, but we're going to talk a little about that too. When I think about it, like that's what we deal with every day. That's the shit we see every day. Good example is, if you go on TikTok, I don't know if it's on like Instagram. I don't really fuck with Instagram like that, but Clapper and TikTok have live stream. When you go through your your page or whatever it is, shit rolls up with the live streams. Because I follow political pages and I talk my political shit, this, that, the other, I get political sides. Now, it's funny because the pages that I'm suggested are pages I would not rock with. We do not share the same views. So it makes me wonder, if I was ever to have, let's say, 100,000 fans like some of these people got, 100,000 followers, whatever it is, like some of these people got, am I going to be suggested to liberals? Is that just a way to, get conservatives caught up, get Republicans get them caught up, get libertarians caught up? Because there's a lot of reporting, a lot of, complaining, this, that, the other. That report button is used more now ever than I think any other button is, and that block button too. But what I was saying is they got these live streams, right? Well, I always end up seeing live streams about Kyle Rittenhouse. And it's always someone either saying that he's guilty or he's not guilty, and they're willing to debate with whoever as to their side, right? The one guy, just this evening, he brought up a motherfucking, man, if someone walked up on you and they had any kind of weapon, would you run or would you fight? Well, Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't walked up upon, you know what I mean? He was ran up upon, he was chased. Now, you can think that he should be getting in trouble, this, that, you are entitled to your point of view. That's true, but your point of view can be wrong. Your opinion can be wrong. You are still entitled to believe it and enjoy it, whatever you want to do with it. But it doesn't make you right. And that's one of the biggest things I could point out to somebody. Excuse me. You got a lot of people that are going out of their way to continue to ruin Kyle Rittenhouse's life. Now, I thought about breaking down the interview we did with Tucker Carlson. I thought about that. I said no to that. That just wasn't. I would let him. What he wants to believe, he can believe, man. He's not my age. I think when you're young, it's really easy to be liberal. I think as you get older, those conservative values start to step into play a little bit more. That's my opinion. But when I see people make really straw man arguments, and I'm talking straw man arguments, if what it tells me is, if Kyle didn't do it the exact way that you see fit, that only you would see as justifiable, it'll never be justified in your eyes, never. And I'm not talking about people trying to defend Rosenbaum or Huber or Grosskreutz. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about they are speaking on how they think these are the only ways Kyle would be justified to me. Well, a jury of his peers found him not guilty, and you can never try him again. So why continue to try and ruin his life? Did this shit happen to Casey Anthony? Did it? That shit was just as high profile. I remember hearing about that when I went to work for a month after it happened. Did people go out of their way to ruin her life? But no. Now some might have, but I never heard about it. But we definitely hear about how people are going after Arizona State, saying, man, don't let Kyle in. Don't know, man. Kyle can't come here, bro. No. Like, okay. So do you just pick and choose who you try to defend and go after? Is that what it is? What it tells me is there's a lot of cats out here, a lot of cats that don't have a backbone, ain't got no spine. That's what it tells me. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying you have to have a spine, but you really shouldn't take a stance if your stance is going to change for the next situation, especially Casey Anthony, Kyle Rittenhouse, not even near the same situation. Not even near. Only thing that's the same is how polarizing it was to the community. You had Nancy Grace go after Casey Anthony like a bloodhound, man. After going out finding a wounded deer. She was on that ass. And everybody gasped, like, what the fuck? How is she found not guilty? Now, you can gasp the same at the Kyle Rittenhouse, but it's not the same. The case is not the same. Both are clear cut. Both we know. One didn't do it because he was hunting to do it. The other one killed their child so they could go live a party life. Kyle was being chased by a predator, and someone that wanted to be a predator's friend. Casey Anthony was the predator. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not saying I'm always right. But I do try to think logically and I try to throw common sense into whatever I'm thinking about. Especially before I go flap my gums about it. But you're going to go after people. Like a good example is Siles the Great on TikTok. He's a cat I follow from Florida. He thinks Kyle should be charged with manslaughter. Just like Timmy Simpkins should be for shooting up that school in Texas. Only difference is I don't declare both active shooters. See, I know I'm not going to change his mind. I see people in comment not going to change his mind. He is dead set on what he thinks, and he's entitled to think that. But his view is not as far off as others want to be. He just thinks that Kyle did break the law and should be charged with something, but because he's found not guilty, it is what it is, right? What are you going to do? But other people are going out on a limb. People are dragging this shit out. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to keep talking about it. Is because everyone wants to keep talking about it. I'm not trying to make a name off of Kyle's name. Do I think he was innocent? Yes. Do I think he did everything self-defense? Yes. Now that he's found not guilty, I wish him the best. Hope your family the best. I'm sure it's going to be a rough couple of fucking years. Probably not going to be the best for you, but I hope that you find some solace and some peace in your life. You would never catch me going out of my way to call a school and complain about someone going there that has never affected me in my life like so many asshats are doing. And I would apply that same standard to Casey Anthony. Because we didn't hear about people going out of their way to ruin her life. And she did something that was horrendous, horrible, unforgivable, never, ever should have been done, as so many people have exclaimed about Kyle. Now, unless something pops up specifically that makes me want to talk about him, I'm not really going to talk about him. I ain't got no ill will towards the kid. Like I said, I wish him the motherfucking best. I think that's going to be hard to obtain. I think life is going to throw him a whole lot more lemons before he's able to make that shit into lemonade, because of how many people just have a hate for him and they don't even know who he is. Never met him, never talked to him. Oh, and him saying that he supported BLM? Oh, yeah. People ate that shit up like wildfire. Like wildfire. And another thing people ate up like wildfire was the fact that he should be able to sue right now. As I spoke about in one of my last episodes about him, Nicholas Salmon reached out to him. Hollered at him. Let me holler at you, bruh. Said that he's probably the only person of their age that can relate to him. Probably no lie there. Let's keep it a buck all day, every day. But you got people that I think went out of their way to ruin trying to ruin Nicholas Salmon's life. They're going out of their way to ruin Kyle's life. And the one thing they can't stop is the Benjamins that is going to roll into a bank account because of all the bullshit media outlets talked. MSNBC should be extremely scared right about now. Extremely scared. You're about to lose hella money. You ain't got viewers to bring that money back. That's clear as day, losing more viewers all the time. Not only that, you decided to have a freelance journalist follow the jury van, run a red light, and then you had a producer for MSNBC talk to the cops and do everything they could to not tell the truth of what they were trying to do. And everybody can fucking tell that on the recording. You can tell for a fact that person is shook that they're like, fuck, the cop stopped him. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, Buster got busted. You got Chris Cuomo trying to dig up information on the people his brother sexually harassed. Sexually, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You anchors on these liberal channels going too fucking far. Like, how far do you think you're able to reach before you get your hand slapped? Finally, they fucked up. And they fucked up in ways they can't walk away from. Think about that. Cuomo got suspended indefinitely. They're going to bring him back just like they did Jeffrey Toobin after it's calmed down a bit. Only problem is, he's not, how to say it, he will not be able to escape his brother's shadow for the foreseeable future. He will always be now synonymous with stalking the victims of his brother. And now Matt Walsh made a good point, they're brothers. So he can understand why Cuomo did what he did, because they're brothers, they're family. Matt Walsh said you're supposed to hold family in high regard. You're supposed to do what you can for them, you know what I mean? I respect that. But I would not be doing that type of shit for the family. You want to go out and be that kind of a person, be that kind of a predator, accept the consequences that are going to come your way and leave me the fuck out of it. Fuck you. Don't talk about me. Don't talk to me. Leave me the fuck alone. You fucking creep. Simple as that. Blood ain't that thick when you want to be doing that kind of weirdo shit. Believe that. And one of the other things that Matt Walsh said was he thinks other people should be more concerned about the nursing home scandal that Andrew Cuomo somehow keeps ducking. And I'm not going to say that I just said he's ducking it. But I'm not in New York. And I know that Minnesota, Governor Walz and a couple other people were accused of doing the same thing. We had a lot of nursing home deaths in Minnesota too. I don't know when or how they would be able to tie Governor Walz or anybody that's elected to those decisions. Same with Cuomo. I'm sure there's some legal loophole, some criminal law, something that would be able to wrap them up. But would it be airtight? Would you be able to get justice from it? That I don't know. fucked up decision as it is, as evil as it is, like I've said, Cuomo's the evil bastard for the decisions he's made. I've made episodes about how he's an evil bastard for these decisions he's made. But how do you make it stick criminally? Especially if he's ducking it the way he is now. I mean, how long did it take for them to want to drop any evidence of nursing home deaths? Till like the very last, like, hey, if you don't give this shit up, we're going to figure it out on our own and find it on our own. And he had assistants and shit giving up, aides giving him up. Shit was not good. But it's almost like when Matt Walsh says that, the point that I got from it was, yeah, you got a point that they're trying to, I'm not saying that they're trying to cover up Cuomo's bad decisions and bad handling of the nursing homes with the sexual assault issues and sexual harassment issues that he has. I'm not saying that they're trying to cover it up, but it definitely looks like they're only willing to talk about one when it comes to all the mainstream media outlets. There's a few others that will happily talk about both and cover the nursing home scandals thoroughly. But a lot of these major ones, liberal ones, they don't want to talk about but only one of them. And they only talk about that as much as they need to, because the viewers will get pissed if they don't, because eventually liberals will hear the story enough that they'll want that outlet to speak on it. And then when that outlet does speak on it, it'll only be so much. Now, Twitter, when I'm talking about outlets, and I think of Twitter, just made me think of it, their new CEO just made some rule where you can't share a picture with someone without their consent. And who made the comment? Somebody made the comment on Twitter because it was on Fox News, but they made the comment that if that wasn't possible, then who would know about George Floyd's killing today? Because you couldn't show pictures without consent, right? All the cops would have to consent. George Floyd would have had to consent. You know what I mean? Like, he has a good point. Now, myself, personally, I don't really use Twitter to be sharing people's photos. But I do know a lot of apps. Not a lot of people on that app that do make their bones that way. Andy No is a great example. Steven Crowder talked about it. Andy No and Brandon Farley is another good one. Brandon Farley, he has a Twitter too. He's in I think he's in Oregon, not Seattle. Or he's in Oregon. He's in Portland. Him and Andy No both share Antifa's pictures in what they're doing. Well, how can they do that now? And it's just like another blow to certain journalists, media outlets, whatever it is, that are independent outlets. Because MSNBC and all them, I guarantee they'll still be able to show pictures and won't get taken down. I almost guarantee that. But what are we supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, the only thing, when I say, what are you supposed to do? When I say that, I think, like, the only thing you really can do, man, is risk it to try to get the biscuit. Go to another app and hope that the following you have will follow you to another app. Or figure out a way around the content or around the consent. Now, I don't know if it says you need a consent form, nothing like that, but shit is wild as it is, you know? But it just makes you think. Now, like I said before, I'm not always saying I'm always right. I'm not saying I got the best ideas. I'm not saying that. But I do try to use common sense and logic. And for a lot of these things that I've said, you start applying common sense and logic to it, a lot of it, you gotta be like, man, make it make sense. And I think when you're at that point to say, make it make sense, man, and it doesn't make sense, you got to question that. You know what I mean? That's where I think, like, you, you got to question that. Now, because I said I was gonna do a long episode in the beginning, I'm gonna break it down into parts. I was thinking about breaking down in parts. We'll run it. I'll do you just stay tuned for part 2. It'll be up. If you're on Clapper or TikTok, I do snippets. I don't do a whole lot of them on TikTok. I break them down on Clapper. Normally 2 minute 30 seconds to 3 minute long clips of the show. Parts, whatever it may be. You already know what it is. Like I've said before, stay blazed, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay tuned for part 2. Peace.